to welcome you to Parenting 101, featured on Morning Joy. This is a Thursday feature. I'm your host, Dr. Mary Felton, and each month I will be bringing you tips, strategies, and information to guide you on how to help your students succeed academically. Good morning again. On today, I will be providing recommendations for not only high school graduates, but college graduates, in addition to high school graduates. And we're going to talk about recommendations to excel in a job interview. So one of the recommendations is to encourage the young person to research the company. It is critical to understand the company's mission, value, their culture, and recent developments. Research is critical. They should also understand the job description. They should know the skills as well as the qualifications required for the position. They should practice common interview questions. For example, they need to prepare answers for questions like, tell me about yourself, and what are your strengths and weaknesses? Those are two critical questions, and I'm sure many of you who have experienced job interviews have had the opportunity to answer such questions. They should use the STAR method. Now, you may ask, well, what is the STAR method? Well, they should structure their responses to behavioral questions using, for example, situations, that's your S, the task, that's the T, action, that's the A, and results, that's the R. So that's the STAR method when structuring their responses to behavioral questions. And definitely, we need to encourage them to dress professionally. They need to choose attire that fits the company's culture, leaning towards business formal if they are unsure. Advise them to prepare questions to ask. This allows them to demonstrate their interest by asking insightful questions about the role and the company. Encourage them to show enthusiasm. They need to let their passion for the job and the company shine through. Again, we are talking about recommendations for not only high school graduates, but college graduates to excel in job interviews. Because as we know, not all students are going to pursue college directly after they graduate high school. Many of them are going to decide to, pursue a job. And we want them to be successful. Being punctual. They need to arrive at least 10 to 15 minutes early to show their commitment and respect for the interviewer's time. I want to repeat that. Please encourage them to arrive at least 10 to 15 minutes early. And this allows them to demonstrate their commitment as well as respect for the interviewer's time. Encourage them to practice good body language. They need to maintain eye contact, offer a firm handshake, and sit up straight. They need to be authentic. They need to be themselves and let their personality come through in their responses. And this one, please, 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 encourage them to know their resume. They need to be prepared to discuss anything that they've included, especially their experiences and their skills. They need to highlight relevant experiences. So encourage them to tailor their experiences to the job that they are applying for. showcasing their achievement. Suggest and highly recommend that they stay calm and collective. Encourage them to practice relaxation techniques to manage anxiety before and during the interview. The follow-up. Encourage them to send a thank you email after the interview. This will help them express gratitude and reiterate their interests. Encourage them to be ready for technical questions. Ask them to make sure that they prepare for industry-specific or technical questions. Networking. Networking is definitely important because it allows them to gain leverage and connections for insight about the company and potential interview tips. Encourage them to demonstrate problem-solving skills. They should be ready to discuss how they've tackled challenges in the past. Adaptability is critical also. They need to be able to demonstrate that they can handle change and that they are willing to learn and grow. They need to demonstrate that they are coachable. That is critical. They need to be honest. If they do not know an answer, it's better to admit that they do not know than to fabricate an answer at an interview. They need to reflect on past interviews, and this will allow them to assess what went well and what could be improved for the next time. And so again, on today, this is an opportunity to learn strategies to help graduates excel in a job interview. And adapting these skills and strategies can help the graduates feel more prepared and confident during the job interviews. Now, answering the interview question, tell me about yourself. This seems to be a challenging question for some interviewees. But tell me about yourself. It effectively involves a structured approach that showcases their background, their skills, and their motivation. So I'm going to take a few moments just to break this down regarding how to craft a compelling response. Because sometimes, from my experiences sitting on interview committees, sometimes the interviewee will talk a little bit about where they're from and some of the other general personal information they will provide. But this example I am going to share will help your young person craft a compelling response. Number one, start with a strong opening. They need to begin with a brief introduction of their current role or situation. They can mention their title and organization that they work for, or if a recent graduate, they can highlight their degree and university. For example, I'm going to focus on a marketing graduate. I am currently a marketing specialist at X, Y, and Z company, where I manage social media, campaigns, and content creation. So as you can see how specific that is and how it is a structured response. Now, number two, after number one, starting with a strong opening, they need to summarize their background. They need to give a concise overview of their work history that is relevant to the position they are applying for. Highlight key experiences, achievements, and skills that align with the job description. So definitely they should have already reviewed the job description. And this is an example Again, I'm tailoring this to a marketing position. And the example is, I have over 5 years of experience in digital marketing, focusing primarily on social media strategies and brand management. In my previous role, I successfully increased over our social media engagement by 40% within a year through target campaign. So as you can see, they included their success. Again, I successfully increased our social media engagement by 40% within a year through targeted campaigns. So they answered that question specifically. Now, number 3, encourage them to highlight key skills and strengths. This will allow them to emphasize their skills or attributes that make them a strong candidate for the position. And it will allow them to connect these skills to the job requirements. This is an example. I excelled in data analysis, which allows me to track campaign performances and adjust strategies effectively. My strong communication skills have also helped me collaborate with cross-functional teams to achieve our marketing goal. Again, what we're doing here is helping the young person answer the interview question, tell me about yourself. They're starting with a strong opening. They're going to summarize their professional background. They're going to highlight their key skills and strengths. And then they are going to discuss their career goals. They should share their professional aspirations and how they connect to the role that they're applying for. And this shows and demonstrates their motivation and alignment with the company's objectives. Here's a great example. I'm eager to take on more leadership responsibilities and contribute to large projects, which is why I'm excited about this opportunity. I believe that working with the company's team will allow me to grow and make a meaningful impact. And here's another one. They need to keep it concise and relevant. They need to aim to keep their response within 1 to 2 minutes, focusing on providing information that is relevant to the job and avoid going into personal details unless they will relate to the professional story. Encourage them to practice their delivery. They should rehearse their response to ensure that it flows naturally. They should practice speaking clearly and confidently, maintaining good eye contact during the interview. And by following this structure, they can create a well-rounded response that highlights their qualifications and makes a positive impression on the interviewer. I hope that you gained something from today's session. Again, this session was to help our college as well as high school graduates excel in their job interview. I want you to join me, Dr. Mary Felton, next month for Parenting 101. Thank you.